Hi friends! Today we're going to read the first book in the series Rocky's Rockin Adventures. It's called Volume 1, Puppy Problems. Before we begin, what do you see on the cover? Yeah, you're right, I see a rock. He looks pretty happy. Down here I see, looks like maybe a worm. And if I look at his face, he looks a little nervous. And then over here, I see an animal peeking up out of the ground. Maybe that's like a mouse or a mole. I don't know, let's find out. Rocky's Rockin Adventures, Volume 1, Puppy Problems. Chapter 1, Rocks Rock. Hi, I'm Rocky. You look surprised. Did you think rocks couldn't talk? We talk all the time. Who do you think makes all those hyenas laugh so much? We do. We're hilarious. In fact, we tried to tell you guys a joke a while back, but you missed it. It was a really good knock-knock joke. Rocks love knock-knock jokes. You guys miss a lot about us rocks. It's okay. We don't hold grudges. We're rocks. We're used to letting stuff roll off our backs. We're also used to doing a lot of work without any praise. Look around. That building you're sitting in? Guess who's holding it up? Rocks. The sidewalk you run down? That's us, just broken into a bunch of pieces and mixed together with some water. Same for the roads you drive on, and the parks you play in, and the beaches you relax at. We're everywhere, quietly helping you out. That's the thing about us rocks. We love to help. Why do you think you humans say that phrase, "She's my rock," when someone is being especially helpful? You're talking about us. Now, I don't want to brag because rocks don't brag, but I do want to tell you a story. Rocks are great storytellers. Again, I'm not bragging, these are just the facts. We're good storytellers because we observe a lot of things, and good stories require a lot of observations. Chapter 2 is called Rocks Love to Help. Last week, I was busy helping my friend Wally the worm by providing a shady spot for him to relax in. He was regenerating the lower half of his body again. Did you know worms can grow their bodies back? Wally has to grow his body back a lot because he's pretty clumsy. All of a sudden, I felt something explode underneath me. The next thing I knew, I was shooting through the air like a rocket. Except, rocks don't make great rockets, even though the word rocket starts with rock. That last ET must be the part that makes you fly. Almost as soon as I went up, I came right back down and landed with a loud thud right next to where I started. The good news is I wasn't hurt. It's pretty hard to hurt a rock. But I was curious about what happened. "I'm so sorry," I heard from behind me. "I didn't see you there." It was a mole. No wonder she didn't see me. Moles can't see very well with their eyes, which is why they use their noses to smell things. "That's okay," I replied. "What's your name?" "I'm Melissa," said the mole. "Melissa the mole? What a great name." "Why are you in such a hurry, Melissa?" Wally asked. "Is there a problem? Should we be in a hurry?" Wally was always thinking how things might go wrong. He says it helps him be prepared, but mostly it just helps him worry. Melissa didn't look worried, but she did look busy. "I'm working on digging a tunnel over to the red house. I heard they planted a new garden." "The red house? Didn't they just get a dog?" asked Wally. "Oh no," Melissa exclaimed. Moles don't like dogs, but dogs love moles. They love to chase them and dig up their tunnels and bark until their human comes outside and tells them to quiet down. That's another good thing about being a rock. No one ever chases a rock. "Well, maybe it's an old dog like Larry," I tried to reassure her. Larry lived in the greenhouse. He stopped chasing things a long time ago when his beard started to turn gray. Now he just watches the neighborhood animals from the sunny spot on his porch, kind of like a rock. "Or maybe it's a puppy," Wally worriedly offered. Melissa scrunched up her forehead like she was trying to hold a carrot between her eyebrows. What if we helped you? I offered. I'd never dug a tunnel before, but I was looking forward to trying. Rocks love to try new things. I usually dig alone, Melissa replied, but her eyebrows were still busy trying to snap that invisible carrot. You're probably right, said Wally, relieved to get back to working on his lower half. Well, good luck. But if it is a puppy, it would be good to have some help, she said reluctantly. Well, then it's settled, I said, before Wally could object. Oh, thank you so much. Melissa let out a relieved sigh. Let's go. But then Melissa just looked at me. I looked at Melissa. Wally looked at me and Melissa. Well, oh, you'll have to help me, I said. I can't go anywhere on my own. I'm a rock. Oh, that's right, Melissa laughed. And she gave me a little nudge, and down I went, right into Melissa's hole. Chapter 3. Rocks love hard things. It was dark in Melissa's tunnel. Not that she noticed. She nudged me again, and soon I was rolling along, past the roots of all the trees and flowers and grass above. I had almost forgotten about roots. They reminded me how everything around us has support from things we can't see. What do you do down here anyway? Wally asked as we traveled along. The same thing animals do above ground. Build a home, look for food, and sleep, Melissa responded. I just do it all underneath the surface. Okay, I think we're almost there. We came to a stop, and she quickly dug a small opening above us. Melissa and Wally peeked their heads out. I was worried about this, said Wally. He says that a lot. If you worry about everything, you're bound to be right some of the time. There is a dog. And he doesn't look like Larry, said Melissa, dropping back down below. What should we do? I thought for a second. How far are we from the garden? And where is the dog now? I asked. It's good to ask a lot of questions when you have a problem. The more information you can gather, the easier problems are to solve. We're just on the other side of the fence, a stone's throw away, Wally said. But that dog is napping right in front of the tomatoes, Melissa sighed. And the tomatoes are the best part. Moles eat tomatoes? I asked, surprised. No, we eat the things under the tomatoes, Melissa replied. Like worms? Cried Wally. Oh, yes, Melissa said. Most moles love worms. Wally held his breath and started to hide behind me. But I'm allergic, so I just stick to grubs, snails, and spiders. Wally let out a rush of air like he was trying to fill up a balloon. If she was going to eat you, Wally, she would have done it by now, I pointed out. The other good thing about being a rock, no one's looking to turn you into dinner. If I could be the first mole to that garden, I could eat for days, she said, excited. I just need to get there without that puppy noticing. Well, that's gonna be hard, said Wally, discouraged. Maybe we should just give up. Rocks don't mind hard things. Hard things are usually just a bunch of smaller, easier things put together. All you have to do is find the easy things and work on them one by one. I have an idea, I said, and Melissa and Wally huddled close while I explained the plan. Chapter 4. Rock and Roll. The rest of the morning went by in a blur of activity. Well, Melissa and Wally were the blurs. I mostly directed things from my spot in the tunnel. Rocks aren't great at being blurs, but we are great at giving directions. And every good plan needs someone in charge. By mid-afternoon, everything was in place. Are you sure this will work? Asked Wally. He always wants to be sure of things. I keep telling him the only thing in life you can be sure of is that you'll never be totally sure. Nope, I said cheerfully, but I'm sure we're gonna give it our best shot. Well, that's good enough for me, said Melissa. I guess moles like taking chances. That's probably why they're good at digging into the unknown. She turned to both of us with a serious look on her face. Whatever happens out there, she said slowly. "I just want to thank you both for helping me." "Of course," I replied. "Well, that's what friends are for," said Wally. "Friends? I've never had friends before," Melissa realized. "Well, you do now," I smiled. Making new friends always makes everyone feel better. Then we moved to our positions and got ready. Melissa had spent the morning quickly and quietly digging 2 tunnels. The first went almost to the garden, and the second went all the way to the other end of the yard, ending just before the driveway. She rolled me to the end of the second tunnel, while Wally emerged from the first tunnel, sneaking into the garden and hiding just behind a leafy tomato plant. "Okay," I whispered gleefully to Melissa. 3, 2, 1, blast off! And with that, Melissa launched me into the air, tossing me even higher than she did when we first met. "Here, doggy, doggy!" I squealed, getting the attention of the puppy in no time. "Ball!" he whooped, jumping up from his nap and bounding straight for me. He caught me on the way down and we began running around in circles. Puppies love anything they can chomp on, and he was having the time of his life. Rocks don't mind being chomped on, and I was glad the first part of our plan seemed to be working. While the puppy was distracted with me, Melissa raced to the other tunnel and started grabbing as many snails and grubs as she could carry. She ran back and forth, depositing them in a pile on the other side of the fence, while Wally kept a lookout from behind a tomato plant. Everything was going great until Melissa's third trip to the garden. All of a sudden, she froze with a funny look on her face. She looked confused and frightened and like she was about to laugh all at the same time. Just when Wally was about to ask her what was wrong, she let out a loud, sharp sneeze. "Achoo!" It must have been all the worms she was digging through. We forgot all about her allergies. The sneeze startled the puppy, and he dropped me in the middle of the yard. He cocked his head to one side and then bounded towards the garden. This was not in the plan. "Abort!" wailed Wally. With her sharp nose, Melissa smelled the puppy before she saw him and managed to dive back into her hole just in time. Puppies love holes, and he tried to jump in after her. He quickly got his small snout stuck and began whining furiously. Wally, not wanting to leave me stranded, started wiggling his way over to me in the middle of the yard. I knew Wally wouldn't leave me because we were friends, and friends help each other, even when they're scared. Especially when they're scared. Just then, one of the puppy's humans came out to see what all the fuss was about. He was a little boy with mismatched socks and bright red sneakers. The boy ran over to his puppy, pulling him out of the hole. "What are you doing, Polly?" he said. "Polly the puppy? What a great name!" The boy began to drag Polly inside. On the way to the front door, Polly spotted me lying in the grass and started yelling, "Ball! Ball!" Of course, humans can't understand dogs, so all the boy heard was "woof, woof," but it was enough to get his attention. Soon the two of them were standing over me. They looked at me like I was the missing piece to a puzzle I didn't know we had started. "A pet rock," the boy announced to Polly, who slobbered in agreement. Just before Wally could reach me, I was scooped up by the boy, cupped in his soft hand, and carried inside. When I looked back, I saw Wally snuggled safely in the grass, and Melissa peeking out just beyond the fence, surrounded by piles of snails and grubs. "Thank you," shouted Melissa. "I'll miss you," wailed Wally. "I'll miss you too," I yelled back, and I would. I was sad I wouldn't get to see my friends for a while, but I was also thankful I had been able to help Melissa get some food and Wally get some of his lower half back. As we headed inside, I started to get excited. You've probably figured out by now that rocks love adventures, and I was about to start a new one. I couldn't wait to see all the friends I hadn't met yet and hear all their new problems I could help solve. As you humans like to say, rock on. The end. For now. Thank you so much for reading with me today. If you don't have a copy of the book at home, it's available on Amazon and the Apple Bookstore. And this is the first book in a series, so follow my page on Amazon, subscribe to this video, like us on Facebook or Instagram so you can stay tuned for when the next book comes out. Until then, I hope you're safe and happy and healthy and you start noticing all the rocks around you in your life. All right, see you next time.